Shivam.
And we're in the desert.
More specifically, we're in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. This is our next country in our trip here in the Middle East after Oman. We took a flight this morning from Muscat out to Abu Dhabi and drove about 1 hour into the desert. And you can see that's exactly where we are today. So we are here at the Telal Resort, which is a luxury resort out here in the middle of literally nowhere. So this resort should be pretty fun because they have a few different cool things here. There's a couple of pools. One's kind of this chamber that you can go down into that has like the fountains running through it that you can swim in, as well as one infinity pool that we'll definitely be swimming at. And our trip is going to be pretty exciting this time around because we're starting off here and then driving to Dubai tomorrow for a couple of days to check out various different things they have in Dubai. And then we're going to spend our last day before heading back to the Bay Area in Abu Dhabi. So it should be a fun one. Hopefully it'll be a good trip here in the UAE. So we're staying at the Telal Resort, which is about 1 hour away from Abu Dhabi. And this resort is most known for having incredible desert views. As you can see right outside of our room, we have great views of the dunes, and we'll be going out there in the morning to take some pictures. So around the area that we have here, this is just a basic room, honestly. We have a hammock outside, so hopefully we'll be able to see some stars at night. We also have this patio, and heading inside, we have the bed, AC, luckily, because it is very hot here in the desert. You know, your standard amenities like water and the TV and stuff. And then heading into the bathroom, we have a toilet as well as a nice big shower and tub. So after checking in last night, we had a really great time here at the Telal Resort. We were able to take advantage of pretty much all of the amenities they had here. Yeah. I think the favorite one was probably the pool, for Shibra especially as the sun was going down. You were able to get a really nice view of the dunes in the distance. Yeah. I think my personal favorite part was this morning, actually. We were able to go walk on the dunes that are right outside of our room. Yeah. It was a bit surprising to me that the sand was actually so cold.
Yeah, I think it was just, we went earlier in the morning and the sun was just starting to rise. And so I think that was actually a really great time to take pictures as well, because it was also kind of like the golden hour of the morning as well. So it was a lot of fun. It's actually pretty difficult to walk in dunes with shoes on. So if you ever go to a dune, take your shoes off. I think it was totally worth it. If you do decide to come here, just know a lot of the extra activities are an added cost. So if you're looking to do camel riding, horseback riding, any of the classes that they offer here, there is an extra charge for that.
But the food was pretty good, right?
The food was fantastic.
And we are about to head to breakfast. We'll throw in a little bit of footage as to what that looks like, but hopefully it's good as well.
I have high expectations after that dinner. I have really high expectations. Yeah.
So wrapping up here, we're about to check out and we're going to head over to our next destination, which is Dubai.
So our first stop is the Dubai Miracle Garden. This garden was actually built in 2013, and it's the largest garden in the world, and it has 50 million natural flowers. So we started walking through the garden, and it's really, really beautiful and actually quite impressive how they've done this. It looks like it's been very meticulously organized. As I was walking through, I was thinking about how are all these plants staying alive? Because I have so many plants at home that die so quickly. So how are they maintaining all of this? And it turns out they have all sorts of different posts and structures that actually have plant pots in them. And my assumption is that they have some sort of irrigation system actually built in through here so that they can actually water all the plants. It's pretty impressive. It's also extremely hot here, which is funny because we're here in the cold season. It's about, I would say, 87, 88 degrees, and the humidity is pretty high. I came here bringing lots of summer clothes, and now that I'm thinking about it, pants, jacket, everything is the best way to cover up here to protect yourself from the sun.
I would say I liked it, but I wouldn't come again.
Yeah, it's a one-time visit.
It's a one-time, yeah. It was like over the top in kind of a tacky way.
When I think of a garden, going into this, I think I was expecting something where like I walk through and it's like quiet and peaceful. That's just like what I expect from a garden. But I think they were like blasting music. There was vendors everywhere like coming up to you trying to sell you stuff. And that for me, I think really took away from the experience.
It was less of a garden and more of an amusement park in
definitely,
there.
Definitely. So just know that if you're coming here.
Yeah. So we've now come to the Palm Jumeirah, or the Palm Island as it's known. This is an entirely man-made island that was made over the span of 5 years. It is a cool place to see, and behind me is actually the Atlantis Hotel. and it's home to one of the largest water parks in the entire world. So we've just come to the Museum of the Future. So as you can see, this building is very architecturally interesting because it's in the shape of a torus. And inscribed on this building is a poem written by the ruler of Dubai about the future of technology. So inside of this museum is a lot of exhibits such as space technology or biodiversity. So keeping with the theme of crazy architecture here in Dubai, we are now at the frame. So the frame is serving no other purpose other than being the largest frame in the entire world, and it was actually conceived as part of a design competition. So the result of this competition was to serve as a kind of frame into old Dubai on the north and new Dubai on the south. You can actually take an elevator up from one side and then walk across and then take an elevator back down. So after checking out some of the architecture around Dubai, we have come to the world famous Dubai Mall. So this mall is actually the largest mall in the world by land area, as well as the 26th largest mall by actual leasable store area. Just like the rest of Dubai, everything is just a little bit bigger. They have every store you can think of, and every type of cuisine you can think of, and every type of person here. Not to mention even things like ice rinks and where we're gonna be headed next, which is the aquarium. On top of that, this mall is so popular, it was actually the most visited building in the world in 2011. Judging from what we're seeing around here right now, it continues to maintain that title probably, given how many people are here and how hard it was to find parking.
So we came to a place here in the Dubai Mall. It's called Bikaner Wala. It's a Indian restaurant that has chaat and Indo-Chinese and all sorts of different types of food. It actually originates in India. Bikaner is a city in Rajasthan. Shivam really likes this restaurant. I guess he's been there in Delhi and Noida, and he says that he goes there all the time. We just got the Raj Kachori, and we also got the Dahi Papdi chaat, and they were both just fantastic. Like, I'm comparing this to my favorite place in California called New Delhi chaat, and I think it's like a few levels above that. The puri is really fresh, and the balance of sweet and spicy is really good.
So we just came out of the mall. We ended up leaving a little bit earlier than we anticipated because the aquarium was extremely packed.
I was like super excited to go to the Dubai Mall, but once I got in there, I just felt like it was endless. Like, there was just so many stores and I couldn't find what I needed. Not to mention that there's like no places to sit. Like, there's very, very few places to sit down and just like relax for a few minutes, which was really exhausting for me being in such a big mall. So then we just decided to take a break and come outside and watch the show.
Yeah, so we've come to the boardwalk area of the mall now,
Yeah.
which is right in front of the Burj Khalifa, which you can see right behind us, which just keeps going up. And basically here they have every 30 minutes a water show with a music. We saw the show initially and it was extremely crowded, so now we're here again to try and see.
We've secured first class seats now.
So hopefully we can get a little bit better of view this time around.
Shivam, look. I look straight, and then I have to look all way up. I think seeing it up close was a lot nicer. Behind the crowd, I was so short I couldn't see anything. So, and they played Celine Dion, which was nice.
So what is your impressions of the Burj Khalifa?
Oh, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think during the day I couldn't appreciate it that much, but with the lights, it really looks pretty magnificent. But I've heard it's about half a mile into the air.
Does it feel like the tallest building you've ever seen in your life?
From this angle, yeah. From far away, not so much, but I haven't seen that many tall buildings in my life either. So after a long day exploring Dubai, we've come to check into our hotel, which is the SLS Hotel. This hotel is actually known for its infinity pool on the 75th floor. And while we were checking in, we thought the views were really nice, so we thought we'd give you a room tour. So this is our room. We've got a king room that comes with a balcony, which I didn't know was coming. So the balcony is really nice because you can see all of Dubai, and you can also see the Burj, which I wasn't expecting at all. It's kind of spooky being up this high. We're on the 62nd floor. I'm also really excited for this hotel. So the luxurious bathroom. This is the bathroom. Got your toilet here. And then your shower, which is really a nice and big rainfall shower. Nice vanity. And then the best part, the soaker tub, which I will be soaking in today after a long day walking in that dang mall. So this balcony is really nice, but I'm kind of terrified of heights, and it kind of blows my mind that you're even allowed to make balconies this high. It just seems so dangerous to me. I'm like staying 1 feet away from the actual frame because I feel like if I lean on it, it's gonna break or something.
Good morning, everyone. So last night we ended up calling it a bit later than usual because we were trying to get some Black Friday deals. And how did that work out, Shipra?
No, I experienced this last year too when we were in Portugal. You cannot access Black Friday deals from different countries unless you have access to some sort of VPN that has a server based in the US. So I don't know, I guess it's a good excuse to not spend money. So.
Yeah, so that didn't end up working out. We just ended up calling it a night. Yeah. But this morning we woke up and we just had probably what Shipra called the best breakfast of this trip,
yeah.
Right?
It was pretty fantastic. I thought, Shivam disagrees with me, but I thought the food variety was the highest we've had on this trip. And like the added touch was that we had breakfast on the 70th floor and had a view of the Burj on top of that, so that was pretty awesome.
I will say I think all inclusive of the experience, it was like definitely the best we've had. I like the food at Telal better, but you just can't beat a 70th floor view of the Burj in the morning.
While eating breakfast.
Yeah. So today we're gonna take it a bit easy in the morning. We're gonna go up to the 75th floor and check out the infinity pool here. And then we're gonna head out later today to go see the Global Village.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna end our day at the Dubai Marina before coming back. And then tomorrow we're gonna head over to Abu Dhabi for our last day here in the UAE.
So after taking a break after breakfast, we came up to the infinity pool, which is on the 75th floor of this hotel. I've never been on an infinity pool that's this high, so it's a pretty awesome experience. And we've got amazing views up here. So in the distance, you can see the Burj Khalifa, which is actually where we were last night. And for those of you who don't know, this is actually the tallest building in the world. So that's pretty amazing to be able to see from here.
I think one of the most enjoyable parts about this infinity pool, aside from the amazing view, is just how empty it is. There's only 2 other people in this entire pool with us, and Shipra is really soaking it up. But I think that's been a general trend, luckily, with the places we've been staying at here in the Middle East, that there hasn't been too much of a crowd, other than obviously down there with the Dubai Mall yesterday. So we spent a little bit of time after going to the pool just relaxing at the hotel, but we are out again, having to go through crazy amounts of Dubai traffic to get to here, the Global Village. So this is an area that's open only a few months of the year, but this is essentially a giant fair to celebrate various different countries around the world. There's around 90 different countries that are represented here, and they'll each have their own different areas with different food and activities that represents their country. So let's go check it out and see if we can get some good food.
So Global Village is a very impressive place. It's actually a lot more than what I expected it to be. So there's a representation of all different types of countries here. I think it's like around 90 plus countries. Our first stop was at India after we walked by, I believe, Yemen. When we stopped at Yemen, we were able to try some Yemeni honey, and it looks like there was a ton of varieties. I didn't know Yemen was known for honey, so that was pretty cool. And then we stopped at India to grab some food because I was really hungry. I got some madka chai, and then we also got some paneer momos, which were fantastic. If I don't find anything better, I'm going to swing back and get some more.
So when we're here, I have to pick up my favorite dessert, which is kunefe or kunafa, but it's basically a goat cheese with a fried layer on top and honey and pistachio. It's so good. But I am extremely impressed with this place. I think this has got to be the best amusement park, fair, or anything that I've ever been to, just with such representation of so many countries and so many varieties of food, and it's insane. It's actually insane. The videos online that we saw coming here do not give it justice. This is the best park I've ever been to.
So for the last portion of our trip in Dubai, we're at the Dubai Marina. And this is essentially a man-made canal here that was developed and has a bunch of restaurants around here and housing developments. This area is a pretty popular place for international people to live, and it was inspired by an area in Vancouver, actually. But of course, it's grown to be much bigger than that now.
So I think as far as areas that we've been to here in Dubai so far, this has got to be my favorite. The boardwalk is actually really nice, and there's a lot of cool restaurants along the way. And not to mention that, most importantly, it is the quietest place we've been to. Despite the crazy traffic and yesterday the insane crowds at the mall, here, surprisingly, there's not very many people out and about. And that's what makes it really nice.
So we just wrapped up breakfast at the SLS, and that was our last day in Dubai. So now we're heading over to Abu Dhabi to spend the day here, and tomorrow we'll be heading out back to San Francisco.
My general impressions of Dubai was everything's pretty overdone here. I enjoyed seeing it, and I think it's definitely worthwhile to come here and experience what Dubai has to offer. I don't necessarily think I'll be coming back here anytime soon unless it's for a stopover. But nevertheless, it was fun. I think Shivam and I both generally enjoy going to places that are a little bit quieter, that have more nature-related activities to offer.
Here was just too much. They built a lot of stuff very quickly, very large, but there's just way too many people, way too much traffic.
I think if I was recommending someone on how to spend their time here, I would definitely recommend maybe checking out a nice hotel that has an infinity pool if you can, and checking out Global Village. It was not too expensive to get a ticket to go to Global Village, and there's so many different options for food. A lot of the tourist attractions here are really big, so you're gonna have to be prepared for walking a lot. I definitely found myself getting pretty tired just walking around and sometimes being really confused about where the exits are.
So now we're headed to Abu Dhabi, where we'll be able to check out the world famous mosque, and after that we're hopefully going to check out some of the F1 qualifiers for the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi that happens once a year.
We figured since we don't have any experience with it, we'll just check it out kind of at a high level this time, go do the general admission, just get a feel of what it's like, and if we enjoy it, then maybe next year we can go to the one that's in the US. So we spent a little bit of time with our cousins, getting some food and going to the beach. After that, we headed over to the F1 event here in Abu Dhabi.
So we just checked out the F1 event. We actually came specifically for the qualifiers that were from 6 to 7 p.m. here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And honestly, I know nothing about F1 coming into this event. We just saw that it was happening at the airport and just decided to come check it out. The tickets for this day, since it's not the main day, were only $15, so it was totally worth it. You came to general admission, you had to go up to a hill. There was no seating per se, but wow, like the view was fantastic and the cars were just moving so quickly. Honestly, I feel like after this experience, maybe I might get into F1. That was really cool. I've never seen anything like that. I've never actually been to a race before, and that was intense.